Here. Sorry guys, didn't realise the audio was off there. My apologies. I don't know why this had actually the whole thing just froze and obviously went a little bit crazy, but we're back going guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about the sound guys. I don't know what happened at the start of this race and I'm after being screaming my lungs off there and for nothing. I don't know why the stream froze on that race intro, but I had to rush to get it back in and I didn't get a time to look at the volume, so I do apologise about that there. What lads use have, as you've seen, we probably haven't heard me speaking, it's just been absolutely epic here at the minute. As we've Ryan Harper now trying it on with Smee, this has just had a bit of everything in it. Oh, Smee runs a bit wide now and then Harper has the drag race with him. I think the M6 is slightly faster in a straight line as well than the M4. And it looks like I'm right there, but Smee was thinking about going down the inside and gives up on it now, which is only fair. And why isn't then that chat coming up here? Ah, you've got no audio again. Ads work though. Yeah, I have audio again. Sorry, we've got audio again. That's brilliant. I'm glad for that. Now, back to this battle here, guys, because it's absolutely crazy. So, Gary Smith, as you would have seen there, loving all the action behind. He's now 5.5 seconds clear. Matthew Gamble, though, is about 1.2 seconds off Mr. Chris Tedder. And this battle here, 0.2 seconds off. You've Smee defending now from Franklin with Ryan Harper pulling away from the 5th spot. That's phenomenal in that car. Chris Wall then right behind as well. Adam Locke, though, is looking for a way by Mr. Isaac Jordan now. That Bentley literally tuned those curbs there. And you see the difference there because of that. He's able to pull right up behind. Can he get a move done though? We're yet to see. But that Bentley definitely has some top end grunt in it. Absolutely great stuff there. And Alex is now in last place. So the Alpha Dog Meat doing a great job keeping it on the track and is now up into 19th spot. Very well done, Alpha Dog Meat. Keep the head down. There's still a great race to go, which means more positions because with all this close fighting, there's surely going to be one or two more heartbreak stories. It's been absolutely epic tonight so far, guys. That's what we love to see it. He's looking for every way to go by there. And do you know what? The McLaren's after impeding itself. Oh! Now Liam Smith's going to have a great little run here. But that Bentley, though, the straight line speed of it's just ridiculous. Liam trying to show a little bit of a nose. But Isaac now is out in 15, 16 spot now as Neil Massey gets by. And Glenn is fighting away with Webster here. So Glenn in equal machinery. This is going to be a tough one for them. And then you have Massey there and the NSX. The speed difference in that corner there alone is absolutely crazy. Wowzers. Up ahead, James Franklin at Chris Wall for company, as well as Tim Smee not too far ahead. But also Ryan Harper now is 1.3 seconds off Cooper, so starting to pull back in Cooper again. So that's quite interesting. And Gamble, as you see just coming out of the screen there, is about 1 second off Chris Tedder. So this is how close this field is here at the minute. Absolutely crazy. Gonna jump on now with Van der Mar in this. Skyline is looking to attack now. This is crazy. Skyline up in 18th spot. You wouldn't think the GTO would have been able to do that. Absolutely madness. Much nicer line through there for the Nissan and the Porsche. It had to, because the Porsche going that slow, it got the Skyline having to let off, and that's after helping the Porsche quite a bit there, as you see now in the exit. But let's see, can the Skyline have an answer in the next few corners or so. I'll keep an eye on that battle closely. Chris Wall, though, is looking to pull in Mr. Franklin. They're 4.1 seconds clear of Dudley, so he can focus ahead of him, not behind. So jumping on here now with Dudley, or with Chris Wall, as he is going for Franklin here. He's about a second off at present. Although look at this one here with the Nissan, though, is right back onto the back of the Porsche here. So let's see what he can do here. So this is Twan Van Garman versus Chris Radmore. You have to have a feeling that Thomas Van Garman seems to be able to take the corners a bit quicker, braking later. Oh, what's happened, Massey here? Oh, look at Massey. Let's go back here for a second. Sorry, that was just crazy. So Massey was behind both of them. So Massey sees the gap, breaks that bit later, and through both within one corner up 2 positions. But then again, he's after losing out to Isaac Jordan there now. Massey is absolutely on a rampage out there at the minute. This is phenomenal. And up ahead here, Ryan Harper though, only 0.7 of a second off Cooper. Chris Wall as well, only 0.4 off. Sorry guys, I don't know who to be looking at. Chris Tedder is in the pits. So Chris has jumped in the pits at 48 minutes basically gone. He decided to pull in there. So that's him, splash and dash. I don't think he has any damage. He was running quite nicely. So he's in now to get his fuel stop done and then hopefully not lose as much time. Get back out there and continue on like the champ that he is. Chris Wall though is giving Franklin quite a bit of pain here at the minute. Because when you want to be trying just to get your head in the game. So Chris is coming out in about 18th spot by looks with possibly 19th. Depending, because so it looks like Alpha Dog Meat might get by Chris. He does, so Chris Tedder is going to be pretty much last coming out of these pits. It's quite a large pit exit, so there's quite a lot of time lost here as well. So looking there guys, just have a quick look at that. So Chris Tedder's pit stop was exactly 35.1 seconds. Alex had actually pitted as well at 34.6 for Alex. So that's not including driving in and out of the pits. I would actually say that was probably about, I would give that probably nearly an extra 10 seconds. But oh, he gets absolutely lit up in the air there, but keeps it going. Back on, Chris Wall is still about a second off Mr. Franklin there. Then Adam Locke is 1.2 seconds off. Ross Webster though is having a little ding dong. Darren Christie's still up in 10th spot as well, so Darren's doing a great job out there. Matthew Gamble though has Ryan Cooper catching him for company. But Cooper has Mr. Harper then as well. So when you're on with Cooper there, and that's what he's looking at behind him. That ain't easy. That ain't easy at all. That Beamer definitely, the M6 has a much better straight line speed. It's a much nicer looking car though as well, that M6. What a beauty. And Neil Massey looks like he's got the job done on Jordan. Let's have a go back 10 seconds. He just gets around the outside under the braking and gets by. So that was great stuff there from him. Adam Locke holds the fastest lap of this race, by the way, guys, at 1:28.890. So in the free air, he is doing quite a decent job. I'd say Gary Smith is probably just pacing himself there, not putting himself under too much stress. So Isaac Jordan is sticking with that. But Ross Webster as well. Oh, what's happened there? So down Christie goes by. Webster looks like just ramps. Ah. Oh, Webster's awareness there hasn't been the most fun. He's quite a fighter. Quite a fighter. You might have to rein it in just a little bit because things like that will annoy the likes of Christie and that. I think he obviously has pace. He's very, very fast. Very, very fast. So Limo's doing a good job there. Gotta say, Ryan Harper is absolutely excelling himself here in this M6, guys. Can't say that enough. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Well done to him. And apologies for anyone who was watching for some reason while I was going through the other stream. Went down to the race intro and decides just to freeze itself. So I had to quickly restart and we kind of got adjust as the race start went. So I do apologise for that, guys. It's not normally something that happens. As Darren now decides to go into the pits, I'm sure he probably has a bit of damage to repair there as well. And he might as well take the hit now. Look at the damage on the back of that car. As Ryan Harper though is now literally 0.8 of a second off here. I'll go on to the next camera angle for a bit of luck here. So looking at positions gained, guys, the biggest loser has been Chris Tedder, but that's because he's pitted so far. The biggest winner is John Dudley, up 6 positions. Biggest loser is Ross Webster, now down 6 positions, as well as Massey down 6 positions. Alex is down 8 positions, and Darren Christie is down 7 positions at the minute, but has a lot to come back to now, as he does have the rest of this race to go. He was quite unlucky there, to be fair about it. So Chris Tedder now is 0.2 of a second on Alpha Dog Meat. He got very close. I wonder, was that just a braking zone with the times just jumping like that? Van Garman though, Ross Webster's in the pits. So Van Garman, how's Liam spun? What happened, Liam? Was it a curb? No, just the rear. Oh, he's definitely going to have some damage there as well. That is quite unlucky for him. I wondered how much that's going to affect him. How many seconds damage has he got to repair there? That is tough going for him, as now he's behind his brother. His brother giving him as much room as he can. Ryan Harper though is so much closer now to Ryan Cooper, and they're not too far off Mr. Gamble either. So Harper is coming alive in this race here. They are 10 seconds, 12, nearly 13 seconds off the race leader though now. So Gary Smith is absolutely cruising out there. 10 seconds clear of Matthew Gamble at the minute. Oh, is Van der Merwe going to get the job done? Oh, he was so close to getting it done. This is a battle of the ages here, tell you that. Radmore driving his little life out on that horse. Van Garman doing everything to try and get a way by Van Gameren. And just unfortunately not yet anyway being able to get the job done. But not for the lack of trying, which is great to see. Oh, Isaac, oh, what happened, Isaac? Oh, he just lost it on the entry to the corner. Oh, and it snapped back at him. Oh, that's unlucky. That is unlucky, but you know what? He's going, and that's the main thing. So Limo's now in the pits as well, guys. So a few of these are starting to jump in the pits. Adam Luck. Oh, what happened there? Why do I see... What's happening here? Right, so that's Darren Christie off the track. What happened, Darren, I wonder? Back 30 seconds just to look at this. Oh, the curb got him. And instead of blocking anyone, he's decided, I'm going to take a different line. That's, you know what, that's very fair stuff from him, so fair play. Now, this is still 10 seconds on the replay. This is not live action, because the live action is now only 0.2 seconds from Gameren being off Radmore here. So let's jump onto that action now. So Liam Smith's coming out of the pits behind Darren Christie. So at least even with Darren Christie's little off, Darren Christie is ahead of Limo. So Liam must have had quite a bit of damage that time. But while this is going on, guys, I gotta jump onto it because Harper is all over the back of Cooper here now. Oh, this is brooding for a while as well. That's what you call a battle. So while that's going to brew back up and going back to Van Garman, because I think there was quite a bit of damage actually on that Nissan. On the driver side, or passenger side, is it? Let's see here, so he's sticking behind it for now. Yeah, it's definitely been in the wars, that car. Absolutely, it's been in the wars. Absolutely flying it out there as well, so we'll come back to him in a minute. Let's see what else is happening out there. So it looks like Chris Wall has decided to go into the pits as well. So Chris Wall is in the pits, so we've had 5 people pit so far, so that's quarter of this field. Oh, we're missing a driver now. Which driver has left? Webster, is it? Webster has left. I don't know what's happened, why he's out of this race. He's had a tough one, but no need to be giving up. Oh, Cooper looks like he's after kicking up a bit of grass. Well done there, well done. Chris Tedder now gone by Van Garman, so Van Garman not putting up much of a fight, but look at this Ryan Harper though, is all over the back of Cooper. Can't go away from this one. Chris is kind of going back by the back ones. Look how close he got there. This is mental stuff. He is itching for a way by. Oh! So Tedder has got by Radmore then as well, so he's kind of getting back through the back markers now. So Chris Tedder absolutely on it out there at the minute. Radmore had a bit of a moment. What happened to him? Curb. Oh, the sausage curb got him. But that was a great save, guys. That was phenomenal. Well done. Well done. He's having a great little race out there, up in 14th at the minute. Look at this though. This is just crazy. He's looking for a way by. He is on it. He's just crying for a way by there. We'll jump on with a man who hasn't got much shown yet, Mr. Smith out front. Unfortunately, when you're that far ahead, normally no one really looks at you too much, but we'll give him an old show anyway. So it looks like he's coming to lap P17 soon enough. Gamble as well, doing a great job out there. As always, he's very consistent as always up at the front as well, so you can see the battle behind, which is probably helping Gamble a little bit as well, because Cooper and Harper are fighting tooth and nail. Then Tim Smee is looking to get involved. He's not that far back either. And then Franklin and Loch now are becoming a little ding-dong. That Bentley in the straight line is just disgustingly quick compared to the Ferrari there. But then again, through the corner, and the Ferrari says, right, I'll take that time back I just lost. Alpha Dog Meat doing a great job up in 16th spot as well, guys. So Limo's down in last place at the minute, but he has pitted. Alpha is yet to pit. Bradmore is yet to pit as well. Van Gerwen, as I'll call him. Chris Tedder has pitted, and everyone else above has to pit yet. Adam Locke, fastest lap so far at 1:28.890. I'm sure Locke and Franklin will be looking forward to a little ding dong soon enough. They're getting there. Absolutely on it, which is always great to see here. One thing about Amigos, it never fails to produce great racing. Never ever fails. It's such an amazing league and great group of people there. Chris does his utmost best with the job in hand, which is leading Amigos and driving it forward. And luckily enough, as Gary Smith now pits, Gary Smith is also quite a key part of that. He's such a great figure to have in the league. Obviously, we'll all try and support and advertise this amazing league everywhere we can. Adam Lochdo as well. So himself now and Harper are agonisingly close. They can smell the next place, but just it's getting by is just so tough. Every time I get onto this one, it just looks like they're going to do it. Goes to show how good the M6 is. And more to the point, how much of a great driver Mr. Harper is, because that car is definitely not the easiest car. in terms of getting the most out of it, because it is a little bit slower than the M4 overall per lap. So the simple fact that Harper is there goes to show us how good he is. As Mr. Gary and Glenn, so the two G Smiths at it now. So Gary has rejoined then in 9th position after his pit stop. Chris Radmore has been overtook by Chris Wall. Alpha Dog Meat doing a great job as always. Darren Christie fighting away, so Limo's quite close to Darren Christie as well. Both all these will have a great little battle. Radmore is sticking kind of with Chris there as well. So Adam Locke now, I don't know what he's going to do to try to get by, but Mr. Tim Smee now is getting quite close now to Harper and Cooper. So Boyd Ryans will be under pressure. And when's Matthew Gamble going to decide to jump into the pits? Because you have to remember, it's how you drive into the pits, how much time you can win or lose in there, how long's your pit stop going to be. And if you have any damage, do you fix it or do you not? Gamble is a monster. We need him to sign up to Eleanor. Niall, do you know something? He is a monster. And do you know what? I know his manager. I'm his manager. I'll sort it out for you. Definitely. He's done very well in Eleanor. He drives the Ferrari as well. Eleanor's another amazing league there as well. A mad bunch of guys as well. All a bit of crack. The camera doesn't like to go move fast enough for me in that corner for whatever reason. So Mr. Locke decides to go in the pits. So Tether is still on the move up. So Tether is now up into 11th spot. So Tether is only 2 spots behind Mr. Gary Smith. So he looks like he's about 4 seconds off. So Tether has actually pulled back about a second on Gary. So that's quite interesting as well. And sorry, Glenn is not getting in the way of that battle either. Glenn is just letting Tether through there. So Tether will be very appreciative of that as well. That's very nice racing there. And Glenn didn't really have to do that either, and in such a nice way, because he is so close with Isaac behind. So Harper, and again, is starting to come back at Cooper. Oh, don't know why that's going there. This is a great little bit now with Smee in it now as well. This is just crazy. Do not go anywhere, because there's going to be some mad action here. Absolutely mad action here. These guys will not be afraid to go for it. Harper is now having to look behind him because Smee is pushing him along. This is phenomenal. Alpha Dog Meat up in the 15th spot now, but look at this here. 1.2 seconds, 1.1 seconds covers these. This is just silly. We need, Niall, you need to be in here tonight. We need to get a few more Eleanor boys into this race here on the Monday night. Absolutely. So far there's 20 grid car tonight. Other one has pulled out. There is 6 other boys that are missing tonight. So this is getting to be quite a decent sized grid here. Get a few more in from ERA, from Eleanor, and if you're watching this from anywhere else, jump on in. You're more than welcome here. And this is the tamest race you'll ever see. Normally it's either melting on the sun or it's absolutely pissing rain down. So it's normally an extreme league race, but tonight it is just not too bad for them. Alpha Dog Meat's had a bit of a moment there. Let's have a look. Helicama. He went off the track unfortunately there. Unlucky for him. So Glenn Smith is in the pits. To jump back on with Harper with these guys here, because they're not afraid to fight, I'll tell you that much. So Chris Wall is back by Glenn now as well. So let's see, can Darren Christie catch up with Glenn. 3 BMWs, and everyone was telling me that, oh, you're never going to have an M6 being able to keep up with an M4, and here you have an M6 aching to get by the M4 and in an M4 sandwich at the minute. Well, I would definitely rather, as Smee jumps into the pits now instead of losing time, maybe Harper might try that the next lap. If he was to pit in the next lap and not lose any time behind Cooper, it might work out better for him, or even for Cooper. Like, one of them is going to have to pull the trigger. And I think it'll work out for whoever pulls the trigger first, I think. Ah, that's fair enough, Niall, that's fair enough. But all the Eleanor boys are welcome along here, as well as Dogmeat gets out of the way there. Might have had a moment off the track. Tinsney still in the pits. Chris Radmore had a bit of a moment, but back on. Just had a quick look there. So Lima and Darren have got ahead of Glenn now. I wonder did Glenn have any damage there, because he's in there quite a while, or did he change tyres? As we're back on with this ding dong that's been going on all, at least the last, what, 15 minutes or so or more. I want to see one of them pull the trigger and try do an undercut. They are doing everything in their power. The noise of the beamer at the M6 is so much nicer than that M4 though as well. I think Harper should jump down the pits. Nope. I wonder would he try for the overcut then and just try and pit in the last 5 minutes, but these two here, it's by far the closest race on the track. By quite a bit at the minute, as Radmore's still in the pits there. So we missed out, I think it was with, was it Webber? Ooh, 2 different lines there. Niall, if that was you on track now in Harper's position, would you try and pit now, or would you just wait and go for the overcut? Or anyone watching, what would you do if you were in Harper's position? Oh, this could be the moment needed. They're side by side. Harper is putting Mr. Cooper under a bit of pressure, and he made one small error. I think this is where Harper just needs to jump into the pits. Free up some space. Let me know, guys, what you think. Hard on the brakes. This is closest battle by far at the minute. So Gary is only 3.8 ahead, or seconds ahead of Chris Tedder. So Chris Tedder having a great sector here so far, session, so to say, as Gamble decides to jump into the pits. Cooper and Harper are staying going. I'm surprised Harper hasn't jumped in yet. Maybe it's just me that thinks jumping in for the undercut now might be better off instead of losing time battling. Because Smee has done that. So it's going to be interesting when they do pit to see where Smee comes into these. Because Smee decided, you know what, instead of losing time with you fighting, I'm going to jump in now, get my pit stop done, and get back into clear air, which he isn't quite clear air there. He's 10 seconds off Tedder. Absolutely, yeah. It seems to be a very hard one to overtake on, so the undercut I think here might work. It just depends whether he wants to do that. Because he's definitely not gaining any time by doing what he's doing. Has Chris Tedder jumped up on Gamble, actually? Tedder's got by Gamble. But by how much? Not by, whoa, actually by 1.5, 1.6, that's about 2 seconds there. Wow. Let's see what happens. Like, I have to say, Cooper's doing very well under the pressure. I don't know, I'd be trying something different there, but obviously Harper knows what he's doing, and that's why I'm a commentator and he's not. He knows what he's doing on that track. It's a right ding dong here. Liam Smith, though, is going to be coming up against Mr. Radmore soon as well. So he's on a recovery mission. Chris Radmore is after going straight into the pits there, so that's a nice one for him. Doesn't have to fight too much, just gets by. His next target, if he can then, is Darren Christie, who's actually, after pulling a bit out on him there, so Darren Christie's running quite nicely. Well done to Mr. Christie. That's a very interesting one as well, because Christie is definitely getting more and more pace as well. It's a beautiful looking livery there, even with the way the orange is on the spats of that bumper as well. It looks very, very nice. Great detail in that car. May I ask him where you got the livery for that, because it is very, very nice. So Gamble is losing time behind the back marker. Well, not a back marker, because he is on track in his position. Well, he is a back marker, sorry. He's not in position. So back marker is letting him by now. Great stuff by Van Gerwen. Van Gerwen's been having a great race, guys. Like, I don't care what anyone says. To be in that Nissan Skyline and to be running in 16th, phenomenal, because that's a very, very tough car to be driving at the best of times. So well done to him. So back on Mr. Ryan and Cooper, a little bit further back this time Ryan is. And so he probably tried to rethink to himself, what do we need to do to get by him? How does he pressure him? How does he make that happen? And Cooper's probably there thinking, look, I'm doing my own race. Jump onto the inside here now. I'm surprised you're using as much of that other car, but I'd try and probably make it a bit wider, because you get more grip without jumping into the air. Oh, Harper is right there again. So that's what he's looking at in the rear view mirror there. Like, that's tough going for any driver, to be seeing that right behind you every single time. That's mad. Keeps quite a tight line there, he does. It's working for him so far anyway. You can see that M6 is getting closer, but nowhere to go. Nice line there this time around, one's a little bit wide. So yeah, again, another lap, another drama with these two still. Looking at the provisional race leader when he was on track, he is now 4.8 seconds clear of Tedder, so he's pulled back out that bit of time that Tedder's pulled in. Chris Tedder is 2 seconds off Gamble, so Gamble now freed up. Should try his best now to pull back in. He's been having a very good race. Very steady. What I like about Gamble's livery, the way the livery is done, it kind of hides just a little bit how big those grills are by having the black on the bumper like that. Because they are some buck teeth, if I've ever seen any. Adam Lock though, coming up against Chris Wall. So Franklin's yet to pit as well, he's up in third. Dudley in fourth, hasn't pitted. Neil Massey hasn't pitted. Then everyone else behind, other than Dogmeat, has pitted. And as I say that, Dogmeat's coming out of the pits now. So everyone else has pitted other than the top 5 guys. Just for that bit of information there. And what I'll actually quickly do as well, I'm going to look at the pit times. See if anyone done any repairs or anything. Looks like everyone's kind of done the same pit time, to be fair about it. Interesting enough. So looking there now, so Alex done the pit. So Alex actually pitted first, so he went 33.5 minutes ago. Chris Tedder went 28 minutes ago as of now. So it goes to show some people have pitted quite early in this race, and some have kind of dragged it out a little bit as well, which is always fun to see. It's those little bits of silly facts. Always makes a good difference. And nobody's got a drive through, nobody's got a stop go or anything like that as well, so it's been quite good that way, no penalties. So no track limits have really played any effect in this so far. So that's also very, very handy. And Ryan Harper is now getting close again, but nowhere to go. But he set himself up for a better drive out this time, but it's where do you go from there? You might get the drive, but you have Cooper who's going to place the car where he needs to as well. he took that a lot better there, but had to let off a little bit as he was catching that BMW there. So for anyone watching this, what would you do if you were him? As Adam Locke is getting so close to Chris Wall, and these two guys are fighters. And this is for genuine track position after they've both pitted. I'm surprised there's been no drive-throughs from a track limits. It's very easy on the first and second chicane. Absolutely, Tom. Absolutely. But they've been absolutely so fair with each other tonight. And there hasn't been that and kind of too mad in the way of people cutting. I see in the corner Aston Martin going very wide. And this is Locke's chance here in the boat Bentley. He's got the driving Wall. And Wall's going to know he's on the out or inside of it there. And Wall's going to give him the room. They've both really cut that fine, and Chris Wall has stayed ahead for now. Ryan Harper, I don't know what he's going to do to get by. He needs to do the undercut. Tom, at this kind of a track now, what car would you choose to drive? What would be the car choice for you here? As it's a fairly mixed grid with ourselves, even if a Nissan Skyline out there. Harper again gets the better drive out, but has nowhere to go. Cooper's placing that car where he needs to. Harper going to the outside. He's going to have a nicer line on it. Cooper's line is going to be impeded a bit, and Harper is all over the back of him, bullying and trying to get by. This is just mad driving here. Harper is going for it here. He's lost a bit of time with that, but he needs to. I think what he's doing is on a information kind of finding mission at the minute. As he's finally going into the pits here now, I think this could be a good thing. Because he's losing so much time fighting there. So let's see where he comes out now as well. Mr. James Franklin then. Staying going and not a bother to him. It's quite a long pit lane here for the guys in this track, to be fair about it as well. I used to main in the Bentley and were very nice here. Recently I've used the M4 and it was okay. Not as quiet as home though. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we do have one Bentley out there. Where is he? Mr. Locke here. And I absolutely love his livery as well. And he's fighting tooth and nail Chris Wall now for the last good few laps. Thought he had the move done. Chris Wall comes back, placed the car perfectly, and defends like a champ through the chicane. I think it was the first chicane. We can see that Bentley can eat the carbs quite a bit more. So Gamble obviously going ahead of Harper. But Harper shouldn't be too far behind. But at least Harper's got ahead of the back marker. And that's going to pay a big dividend as well. He's not losing any time behind the back marker now. So I'm going to stand with Adam Locke though, as he is quite close to Mr. Wall. Only 0.4 of a second off here now. It's a nice little battle here. Two big V8s. It's taking frads every 5 minutes. It definitely shouldn't be, because I know I had the settings that after the first 10 minutes it does it, and then like once, I think it's twice an hour it does it as the lowest I could have turned the settings onto. Which reminds me, I do need to turn that off, because I don't really make enough money off them to really justify having them there. So I will be taking those ads off actually. Thanks for reminding me. I'm going to do that after the stream this evening, because it's an absolute joke. Oh, his Locke is all over Mr. Wall here. So Cooper's now in the pits as well. Let's down with Harper here now. So Harper's quite a bit away from the pits so far. I think Cooper's got away with that. Oh. Harper is 5 seconds off him, so I'm wondering, did Harper have damage or something? Or did he just take more fuel, or did he change tyres? But like, that's 5 seconds off now, that's quite a difference. Cooper is definitely not. No, he is an absolute animal. Absolutely, I know that for a fact how fast he is. I've said it for quite a while as well, how good he is. Oh. Yeah, but look, I can just turn off the ads, Tom, because, like, look, as I've been explaining to the guys, you don't really make that much money off them. Because even with the subs that I've gotten over the last while, I think Amazon or whoever it is that owns Twitch, they're taking way more than what they say out of it. Like, you're not really making any money. So for me, I can't justify ads coming on and ruining my viewers' experiences when I don't really make anything off it. So I'd rather make zero at all and at least give the viewers a decent experience. And you won't have to pay £7 a month to watch my stream anyway without any ads. It's just another way for them to make way more money, which is I don't think it's very fair, because at the end of the day, Twitch, you know, it's been run for streamers, by streamers pretty much, and streamers have developed this, and I don't think it's very fair that they're going very much like YouTube with that. I understand YouTube doing it to make a ton of money as well, but YouTube have always had ads. Twitch didn't have this many ads, not from what I remember from the last few years, but it's gone crazy lately, and I don't think it's very fair on the viewer. So Locke is not finding a way by at the minute. Cooper's now 3.3 seconds off Gamble, so Gamble doing a great job there, keeping ahead. I think he pulled about a second out after the pit stop as well. So that's very good going there by him. So we've got Franklin and Massey yet to pit. Chris Tedder's about 4.3 seconds off Mr. Smith as well. So Gary Smith's in a league of his own, it seems, the last two races. He won race 1. Now there's a much tougher fight there for him, unless Tedder has a bit up his sleeve for near the end of this race. We will await to see what happens there. And look at Doug Meat, though, doing a great job up in 17th position. As it looks like we're after losing the Porsche there as well. And Isaac Jordan in 18th spot, keeping it together. Glenn Smith's doing a great job there. He's had a tough race so far. But look at this dude here in the Nissan Skyline, up in 15th spot here. Limo, after a tough start to the race, big incident on his own behalf, I suppose, hitting the curb and losing it. Still doing a great job though. Adam Locke though is still fighting away, and this is the closest battle on track, so let's stay on with this one here. Let me have a look what Tom's saying there. Oh wow, okay, yeah, so you're jumping in and out of loads of streams. But yeah, I don't think it's fair having that much ads, and realistically, like, the only one that's making money from that really is Twitch, so I don't see the point of streamers really having stuff on anymore. So that's, I will be turning them off. So at least with my streams, guys, after tonight, you definitely won't be getting ads, and especially when I'm doing podcasts as well, it makes no sense. Wednesday I do have my podcast with Liam Smith, and last night I done one with Skylar, and there will be a part 2 to the podcast with Skylar, by the way, guys, as we had an awful lot to talk about. We're only just saying that right afterwards that it needs to be a part 2, because we didn't get through half the stuff we wanted to talk about. So yeah, the podcast is always fun, and if anyone ever wants to get involved and wants to come in for one, by all means, just let me know and we'll get you in as well. But looking up here now, so Gamble is after getting by Tedder by looks. But what happened, Tedder? Let's go back 30 seconds to see what happened to the guy. So Tedder quite a bit back, or quite a bit ahead of Gamble. So he absolutely lost it. Did he hit the curb? No, he didn't. Oh, on the exit, no. Well, he done well to hold it, and Gamble gets by, but he done very well to hold that there. But that's tough going for Tedder there, because Tedder was absolutely flying it, very consistent, and it's very rare that you see Mr. Tedder making an error like that. But he'll get his head down. He's not one to let these things get to him. His head will be down and he'll be getting back into it. So Franklin out in the lead at the minute. He's 19.7 seconds clear of Massey, who's a further 5.6 seconds clear. So realistically, Franklin here could be on for maybe even jumping Cooper or Harper here. Franklin has been putting in some obviously decent laps there, looking at his last lap compared to everyone else. The fastest man last lap was actually Mr. Gamble on track. He pulled about 3 and a bit tenths in on Mr. Gary Smith as well, so still has quite a way to go, 6.1 seconds off him. But anything can happen, and Mr. Tedder is coming back at Campbell already. So Chris was definitely running quite nicely out there. And as you see with this track, it just takes one little touch of the grass and that's it. Mamma mia, position gone. So the guys, because the track is like an old school track, this is older. So it's a bit like Suzuka that way. It's not as wide as some of the newer tracks there as well. So on the exit, it's literally, there's no real proper runoff, it's grass. Which is great. Oh, Tedder gets very sideways there. Does very well to hold that there. NSX are known for being a little bit tail happy and eating their tyres, but my god, when you have a setup in them, they're amazing. Ah, okay. So you reckon that the app has issues, that it just thinks that because you read a message or something, it just resets you back in thinking you're a new viewer again. Which shouldn't be the case, but that's very unusual if that is the case. Because genuinely, you shouldn't get more than maybe ads, I think it's once or twice an hour. And it's normally the first 15 minutes at the 15th minute it's set to go. But obviously, as I say, that's not going to be an issue after tonight. It really is not going to be an issue after tonight. Those ads will be turned off. I just don't see the point in them anymore. Unless Twitch try to run their own ads. But I'm going to try and turn off any ads whatsoever where you're not getting impeded. But let me know though, guys, because if Twitch are still putting in ads, I'll turn it back on. So at least that way I might get 1 cent for it. But Massey's now in the pits. So Massey's done a great stint there. So Franklin now is the last person left the pit. Everyone else has been in the pits. What can Tedder do here? Matthew Gamble, as we know, is super consistent as well. Gary is actually quite a bit out front now. He's now 7.7 seconds ahead of Mr. Matthew Gamble. So realistically, I would say Franklin is going to come out somewhere close to Ryan Cooper or possibly ahead of Ryan Harper, I reckon. It depends how much time is lost in the pits, and we're going to find out now as he's gone in. He's obviously attacking that pit lane. He's attacked that pit lane. Looks fairly spot on, to be fair about it. So I'm going to jump on with Ryan Harper because I think that's where he's going to be coming either slightly ahead of or slightly behind of. No, someone had mentioned to me about the ads before, but I remember checking then the revenue on the ads. Like, honestly, I don't make nothing for the streaming because, like, I've looked at the streaming that I've done the last few months. I've made what it says in the account would change every day about $30. So really, I don't give a fuck about it, to be honest. So I don't mind turning off the ads. So this is it now. Will Harper get ahead? Yes, he will, because I can see Franklin still in the pits there. Will Smee be getting by? So Smee's going to get ahead of Franklin. Does Dudley come out ahead of Smee? Or ahead of Franklin? It sounds like Franklin. It's going to be a drag race out there, but... Oh, Dudley does get by just. So Franklin down in 8th position. But he's fighting straight away for 7th. That's crazy. Lambo versus Ferrari. How Lamborghini started was because of Enzo Ferrari telling basically it was about the clutch that he was using. Your man, Mr. Lamborghini, was using the same clutch that was in his Ferrari that's actually in the tractor of his at the time. And he was giving out shite that he could get this clutch for, I think it was like a few pound back then at the time, but like Ferrari was charging him probably like 100 or 200 to fit it, whatever it was at the time. And he was giving out shite saying that you're putting in ship parts and charging a fortune for them. Oh, is that Cooper gone off? Oh no! Harper missed his braking point. He's letting Cooper by, I'm sure. Yeah, he did. Oh, Cooper's in the pits. Oh! Oh no. Wonder how much damage Cooper has. Good night, Niall. Have a great evening, and thanks for jumping in. I know, what is it? It's now nearly 12 o'clock over in South Africa, so have a good evening, bro. That was a tough one there. Cooper done nothing wrong, and Harper, unfortunately, just got the breaking wrong, but you could see Harper was trying to avoid it as much as he could. Just had nowhere to go. That was just tough. But look, they're all adults, they'll move on, and, you know, I'm sure that any student that needs to be done in it will be done in it. So Franklin and Dudley here having a nice little ding dong as well. Guys, I actually forgot to look. There's only 2 minutes left in this race. What the hell? This after flying in. Wow. I was really loving this. I'm so used to doing a bit of the long streams now that this feels like nothing. An hour literally is nothing in a race. I'm sure it doesn't feel like that when you're in the car. Can Franklin get up to 7th spot? I'm sure he will love that. Or sorry, up to 6th spot. I'm sure he would absolutely love that. As Cooper's going back out, oh, there's huge damage in the front of his car. He's going to try and make it work anyway. What can Franklin do here? It looks like we will get another lap at least in, as the race leader is out there quite a bit. Alex is getting close to Mr. Tedder as well. Or Cooper. Cooper is really struggling. That damage must be absolutely hurting him. And do you know what? He's a trooper going to the end regardless. That's what I love to see, even in the hardest of moments. Keeping the car going, and that's what you call a racer right there. So fair play to Cooper. Genuinely. And Franklin does get the move done eventually. And he's straight on now. Gonna have to try pull a gap and make sure he doesn't lose it over the next lap. Cooper is under huge pressure here now from Alex. Cooper's doing his best to keep that car. That car looks like it's a handful now. So this is going to be the final lap now, guys. So I'm going to jump on with the leader for this.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
I'll go this way with him down out the helmet. So this is the man who now is going to make it race 2 for 2. He done a great job eventually coming back to fight off Mr. Franklin. There was great difference in strategy there with them that time. And that was a much tougher race for Gary by the end. He's had it. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's an easy race because it's a very hard track to keep it on, but he hasn't had to fight as much, he hasn't had to defend, and he hasn't had to try and pull back a lead. So this time around for him, it's been a nicer race for him, which I'm sure he'd admit himself. That's the pole position and going to be the race win by about 7 seconds or more. And Jordan ahead there now, might let him by. Gary really does love this Audi. Yeah, I noticed that, Tom. That was one of the Porsches had left. That was... oh, I can't remember his name. I'm brutal with names. He was a new dude anyway. But it's sad to see guys giving up. Look at Mr. Cooper there. Could have easily gave up after fighting so hard and dropped down at the 12th spot. But that's what a racer does. They continue to the end. And I absolutely love seeing that. And even last week, I properly learned that. And last week when I was racing in Edinburgh, I had an absolute shite race myself in the finish. And the same as last night. But that was an amazing win by Gary Smith. And that is now 2 for 2. I'm sure he must be over the moon. Matthew Gamble now in 2nd spot as well. Great points. Chris Tedder home in 3rd. You know, still a great recovery for what could have been for him, to be fair. Is that donuts I see? No, I heard it. He's going to go for the donuts. He is, yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's how you celebrate in style. Ah, he's in the pits already. Tedder's in the pits. Smee's in the pits. Harper then in 5th. You've got Franklin in 6th. Franklin going to go for donuts? No. You've then Dudley in 7th, Chris Wall in 8th, Massey in 9th. You've got Locke in 10th, Alex in 11th in the end. Cooper comes home in 12th after such a tough race. Christie in 13th. You've got Van Garman in 14th. That was an amazing result in that Nissan. You got to give a hats off to him there. That's absolutely amazing stuff. Then you've the good man Liam. Never lets me down. Always loves an old donut, that man. He is a bit of a donut himself, but we love him for it. Brilliant stuff. Alex just avoids him. Oh, yes. And his brother Glenn jumps in for the fun as well. And Alex jumps in. This is what we like to see here. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And that is how you should celebrate the end of any race. Whether you're first or last, or in the midfield, always have a bit of fun. So what I'll do now is the usual. I'm going to jump into the chat on Discord, and everyone's in there, and I'm going to see how they get on.
A DCTM still at 27.4.
How he's doing, lads? That was a great race. Had a bit of everything. Chris, you were very unlucky, but 3rd place. You happy with it?
I'm happy with 3rd place, but my tyres were completely shot.
I could see that.
40 minutes at least. I was just fighting it all the time.
I thought you were doing Tokyo Drift around them corners. You went completely broadways, but done very well to hold on to.
Oh, yeah, mate. It was just a nightmare. But, you know, I was happy with 3rd. It was a good race. Well done to Matt and Gary, just ran off of it. But, so, yeah, good fun.
Absolutely. Well, it's still a good point and a long way to go. It's only the 2nd race in. But honestly, it looked like you were absolutely flying after the pits as well. When you got into free air by yourself, mate, you pulled in quite a bit of time. And in fairness, you pulled out. I think you pulled the 2nd on Matthew by the time Matthew rejoined the track as well. But then obviously that bit of the wheel onto the grass then did kind of change the game. But you done great to not get pissed off and stay off in 3rd. So very well done to you, bro.
Yeah, no, good fun, mate. I enjoyed it. It was a good race.
It was very good. And Matthew, well done in 2nd place. You're always consistent.
That's right. Thank you. I'm
And
sure I got... Oh, you can hear me. Sorry. I'm sure I got some snores and everything on the stream, but that's grand.
No, not at all. Not at all. No. It's all good. But no, honestly, great race. One thing about you, you're one of the most consistent drivers I've seen, other than the race winner again. But honestly, you've been absolutely doing so well, and congratulations. Do you reckon you're going to be able to take the fight at all to Gary at some stage?
I'd love to. Maybe when the Audi dies again and is nerfed into the ground, but sure. I don't know. He's too quick at the minute. I was half a tenth away in qualifying, but I didn't have the race pace to keep up with him.
Yeah, it was so close in qualifying.
Yeah. Tires were tough.
Welly boots. That's why you're welling.
Yeah, I was in the welly boots with snow in them. That's what I was. Feet were too cold.
Oh, what a dude! What a dude!
Feet were too cold. Yeah.
And Gary, honestly, congratulations. A lot easier win for you this time round than it was before.
Yeah, I didn't expect it, to be honest, with the 15-second penalty. But yeah, I think Chris and Matty, like, battling early on just allowed me to get away a little bit. Yeah, and just had to be consistent, like boring and robotic. That's what I had to do, like, so yeah.
Well, it might have been boring for yourself, but it was like, it's what you need to do, as you say, but you were so consistent with your lap times. I kept an eye on your laps the whole time. You were always pretty much in and around the 129, 130. I think it was only the last lap that you dropped to a 131, but like, honestly, super consistent. I think the lads really do have their work out to try and catch up to try and fight you for this championship anyway, because you're absolutely cruising so far. It was very close for you in the last race though with Franklin, but eventually you got the job done after the two different styles and pit stops it was that had caused it that you dropped behind. But honestly, well done. I'm really looking forward to the next race. Where's the next race, guys? You know?
Brands.
Oh yes.
Dirty brute.
And then Snetterton after that, which is fucking worse. Like,
I've never done that before, so woohoo! Here we go.
I'm gonna jump on though, if you don't mind, guys, while I'm in here. Just Mr. Cooper and Harper. That was very, very unlucky near the end of the race. But Cooper, you done something that two others didn't do. Even after bad luck like that, you just stayed on. You raced to the end, which is what a racer should do. So well done to that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it wasn't the best I had a bit of damage from the beginning. So
Oh, did you?
when yeah, I think there was like a coming together with an Aston in the chicane. So I was trying to last the whole race, and then didn't have enough fuel, so I was fuel saving. And then Ryan, I think, didn't expect me to brake early, and yeah, basically then gave me severe damage. So I had to pit and I had to put fuel in, and then bring it home.
I know, but look, fair play. Look, I'm sure it was tough for both yous when it happened, but
Oh yeah, he was on the whole race. He done really well.
Yeah, I'd say we had a good battle going, really, to be fair. I was a bit gutted, like you said. I don't know whether you broke early or whether my car didn't stop, because I broke at the same place. I break every time. And
I broke early.
Did you? I thought you might have done. And literally, I just couldn't stop. I tried to get out of the way, and obviously there's a barrier to the left, and he's reared to the right in front of me, so...
Yeah,
no,
fair. I actually caught it on the stream, and it did show that you were trying to get out of it, but unfortunately, you did have nowhere to go. It was just one of those unlucky things.
It's frustrating.
Well, that's 1-1, right?
Yeah. First thing, I was behind you all the time. I thought, I'm not going to make a move, because...
I was kind of expecting it. I was thinking, is he going to go? Is he going to go? Is he going to go?
Because the traction, you had better traction out of the corner. I don't know why for that M6 was having the acceleration or whatnot. I don't know, I just couldn't get any. And by the time I got near you, just pulled away. And I thought, I'm not going to try and move unless you make a mistake, and you were just consistent.
Yeah, it was hard. I was struggling a little bit, but I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was a good race.
It was good.
And great to see the M6 taking it to them. So Ryan, I tell you, you're showing the boys how to do it.
It's tough. Driving a car I've never driven before. I'm one that's as bad as that, but enjoyed it. It's been good.
You mean as good as that?
Yeah.
Smee, you done very well as well. You were kind of getting up with the boys. I thought when you jumped in for your pit, you might have maybe jumped one of them, but I don't think the undercut really does work here with the size or the length of that pit lane.
No, I thought it was better than being held up, but I struggled to catch them when they were battling. So, but happy days when they came together for me. I was a wry smile when that happened. But...
Obviously. Obviously.
Sorry, boys.
You got a lot of sportsmanship, haven't you?
Yeah. It's brilliant. And Adam, you had a great race as well in the Bentley. Obviously, you probably weren't as high as you hoped to be, but man, you were having some great battles out there as well.
Yeah, it was good fun, but little mistake near the end. Spun, 22 seconds of damage. That was it. Tyres were done.
Okay, that was quite tough. And Darren as well. I think you had an unfortunate bit at the start of the race, wasn't it?
Did you catch that?
I think I did, yeah.
I thought you might. Yeah, I got hit from behind and then spun again afterwards. So it's I think it was 15-20 seconds of damage and 20 seconds facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I have to say that was quite. I felt quite bad for you because, mate, you were having a great race before that. You're getting some pace. Every single race, you're definitely one of the biggest improvers I've been seeing lately.
Yeah, I've just aimed for John. That's what my aim is. But yeah, I was in front of him, qualified in front of him. But yeah, I had a mistake at the start. I put it on the grass. I think I went last, but got back up, and then the spin just ended it.
I was unlucky, but look, at least you have to take from it is that your pace is definitely coming up, and there's always the next race. But honestly, mate, fair play to you because you're after coming I'm only commentating on Amigos probably about 2 months or so, is it? And like the improvement in you already has been massive. So well done and keep it up.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Well, look, lads, I'll jump out after speaking to you all. Well done, and I'll see you all next week for hopefully another great show again, lads.
Yeah, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
No, we're at all, lads.
Forward to it.
And sorry, boys, by the way, the stream actually froze because of Chris's lovely intro, and we had to stop the stream and get it back in, so there's 2 parts to it.
Oh, Chris, for goodness sake, you
We're
don't need
commentating,
to
mate. That's what we're saying.
I know, to be honest with you, I fell asleep seeing that M4, that's all. I'll talk to you later on, lads.
See you later, mate.
Take care. So, guys, there he is. Have it, another great race. Yeah, I cannot wait already now for next Monday. It's been so much fun for me as a commentator to be commentating on this amazing league, and anyone who does get to watch this, by all means join when you can. I'm lucky enough that I'm commentating now with ERA obviously full time, doing the Thursday and Sunday when we're back in Thursday and Sundays from January. I do Amigos, and I've done a few kind of other commentaries for other races. We do the endurance race every few Saturdays, and I might do something with Eleanor in the new year as well. We'll see what happens. So there's going to be loads more content coming this way, and of course with our podcast. So my next stream will be a podcast with Liam on Wednesday, and then I think we won't have any stream then up until as the game crashes up there now until next Monday, because on Sunday we're racing in the Jags. We're doing an all Jag race. So if you want to get involved with that, guys, please do. Sheepers, how you doing? And anyone here who's watching this, if you want to join in with our racing, we are doing the all Jag race on Sunday. It's in Kyalami, and as you hear, it's all Jag, so it's going to be great fun. So jump into the ERA server if you're looking to do so, register and have a good fun race. If not, we will speak to you again on Wednesday when I'm doing the podcast with Liam. So look, thank you all so much as always for coming in and watching and supporting what we do, and we'll see you for the next one, guys. It's always been a pleasure.